Guys, hey, what's up? Thought I'd do another movie review. I guess that's gonna be my thing until I can, get good equipment and make movies or something. I'll do reviews. So, what are we gonna be reviewing today? Ooh, it's a good one. I'll give you a hint. That's probably a horrible sound. I don't have the soundtrack, so I can't, play it for you. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. Those are knives on, well, not knives, but blades on my fingers. Nightmare on Elm Street. I liked it. It was original. They say that Halloween was kind of like the precursor to modern horror, which, in my opinion, is not true. Well, Hitchcock, he was a genius. The Birds, The Blob, great movies, like 50s. They were great. But let's just, for the sake of the movie, assume that that's the way it is. It's Halloween set up the modern slasher, and it's very interesting what they did for this. I thought it was fantastic. Wes Craven, this was a good piece. It was a good piece of work. It was an excellent movie. Me personally, I hate it when they show boobs. I hate it when they have sex scenes in movies, because there's no point to it. In a way, yes, there is. Like for Friday the 13th, that would make sense. In a way. I mean, I don't know if it was because they were making love. Mrs. Voorhees was mad that they were making love because they couldn't save his son. Jason Voorhees kills because a camp counselor killed his mother. That's why Jason kills, not because teenagers have sex. But I can't really think of any film that has to do with sex and horror, except Cherry Falls. It's a very interesting piece of filmmaking. Now, if you want to check it out, go ahead. It probably has very graphic sexual content, but I'm sure none of you have a problem with that, because I'm the only one that has a conservative mind thought. Anyway, yeah, you could go to a place called onechannel.ch, and you can have movies, and you can put in Cherry Falls, it might be there. I suggest getting ad blocker, because an inappropriate ad will pop up if you click on one of the links to watch the film. So just get ad blocker and it'll boom, block it, so you're good. But anyway, back to this. Very genius. It was a killer that kills you in your dreams. The very thing that we use to recharge, re-energize, revitalize, all those things that we use to start running again the next day is used as fertile ground for our fear. I mean, I really think only one other person or one other creature could even compare to the sheer horror of that just kind of thought. Just mental power. Just mind power, dream power, just the power of the mind, and supernatural. The only other person I really can think of probably would totally destroy Krueger, but the only person that I think really stands out to me as that this kind of like supernatural-esque killer is Pinhead. I'm sure there are others, but I like Pinhead a lot. Pinhead is a very intense film. The first one, Hellraiser, oh my gosh, an original concept, and it was beautifully done. Simple concept of how to defeat him, but they didn't know that for a while. Nobody knew that little box had the power to unleash the power of hell. It's funny they don't have a heaven box. They have a hell box, but not a heaven box. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm talking about a completely different movie. We're reviewing this one. This is Johnny Depp's first, feature film appearance. I'm sure he has, like, scenes as an extra or something when he was a kid or something. I don't know. Maybe not. But, this... genius. I love Johnny Depp. He looks so much younger. If you look at him, and then you look at him now, look at his face. Look at his face. So much younger, right? I mean, and of course he was a kid. Makes sense. It's interesting. Wes Craven directed Scream. Very great, very good film. Genius. The concept that they think that movies make killers is not true. Makes them more creative. To quote Billy, I think it was, from Scream. Anywho. Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's see. How come it says, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you, 3, 4, better lock your door, 5, 6, grab a crucifix. Nancy grabs a crucifix once, and he doesn't even use that to fight back against Freddy. What? 7, 8, better stay up late, 9, 10, never sleep again. Very interesting rhyme. But it's a very interesting look for the killer. I mean, think about it. A red and green sweater. Christmas sweater. Now, pardon my language, but it seems a little faggy. And that's actually what kind of, what's her name mentioned, or Kia in Freddy vs. Jason says. What the heck? What's with the faggy Christmas sweater? Then the button eyes on your fingers, a little compensating for something. I thought that was pretty funny. But anywho, his look, was a trademark look. Why they had to change it in the new one, I don't understand. And why they couldn't get Robert Englund. Robert Englund has been Freddy since 1984. He's been Freddy. This is Freddy. Robert Englund is Freddy. And he's so famous because of that. He's in other movies, and I can't even remember. There was one that was like Red Day or Dog Bread or something. It was a weird movie. But he's most famous because of this. And now with this new remake, they come out and bring frickin' some unknown actor to portray Freddy. You don't do that. That destroys the very concept of the movie, because the personality that Robert Englund brought to Freddy was what made Freddy so memorable. His constant one-liners, and then he tore you up. Now, one-liners are kind of stupid in ways, but in ways, that's what made it so awesome. Especially in number 3, Dream Warriors. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Then he slams that girl's head into the TV set. That was creative, that was a one-liner, and that is probably one of the most famous one-liners in the world. And just, and then the sequels, like before the movie, I mentioned a quote. One of my favorite quotes, even before the movie, was from Edgar Allan Poe. Dreams, those hated little moments of death between days, or between time awake, I think, something like that. And Edgar Allan Poe, think of that. He called it dreams death. Death that we all go through. And some churches, mine in particular, I mean, they come up with this concept that death, or dreams, could simulate, if you want it to, I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to, but death could simulate the death of Christ, and when you wake up, it's the resurrection. And think about it. When you dream, you either have good dreams or bad dreams. Heaven or hell. You don't have to believe that, but it's an interesting concept, right? Anyway, the weapon. That's a very genius weapon. And you know what? It's not hard to make. That's what's so scary. Well, of course, albeit a machete isn't that hard to get, but that's the thing. In Freddy vs. Jason, they gave Freddy his trademark weapon. However, they gave Jason a machete, which he used axes, pitchforks, lots of things, corkscrews, ice picks. In part 2, Friday the 13th Part 2, Jason uses an ice pick, because after that chick opens the fridge door and sees, I think was it Pamela Voorhees? Was it her head? Opens the door, sees her head. Jason, ice pick, kills her. He doesn't use just a machete. why they had to stick him with a machete. Maybe it's for the action figure, because if they gave him an axe, you know, pitchfork, scythe, whatever, and then the machete, it'd probably cost too much money to produce the action figures. But anyway, I'm just going on different films. Let's try to talk about this. I love the history of Freddy. Fred Krueger was a child kidnapper and killer. He was evil. He was pure, pure evil. Then, when he died, this was kind of a flimsy excuse, the dream demons gave him his power, and now he stalks kids in their dreams and kills them. Now, I understand why in the movies it would take a while before they came up with Hypnocil. But once they did that, you know, a kid having bad dreams could just get some Hypnocil. But yeah, so yeah, I thought this movie was awesome. Very original. I thought they were fantastic casting Robert Englund. He just had the right screen presence. It was amazing. And for a 1984 film, groundbreaking effects. It's amazing. I mean, I don't know, did they use Lucasfilm for it? No, they didn't. Anyway, I thought it was good, but a little overrated, and that can cause a lot of friction from horror fans saying, Friday the 13th, the first one was the best one, blah blah blah. It's kind of overrated. It's an overrated film in ways. I mean, it's scary, but it's not that scary. I mean, think about it. A guy that kills you in your dreams. Yes, that's scary, but also it's kind of a wussy way to kill someone. I mean, he can only kill you in your dreams. When you're not dreaming, you're fine. And then just take some Hypnocil. Boom. There you go. But of course, in reality, not everyone would take Hypnocil. Yes, it makes sense. A dream suppressant, whatever. And, yeah. But I would never tell anyone to not watch a movie. Jawoosh online on YouTube said that himself. He would never tell anyone to not watch a movie. Anywho, yeah, but go watch it. It's a great film. It's overrated in a way. Honestly, sequels rarely surpass the original. It's so rare. But yeah, I'll talk about the sequel next. A lot of people say it wasn't the best sequel that they made because of the gay overtones, but I'll get into that in depth in the next review. But yeah, Wes Craven, great director. Yeah, introducing Johnny Depp, yes. Written by Wes Craven. You know, if they got all the Friday the 13th written by Wes Craven, I guarantee you the quality would have improved so much. But yeah, A Nightmare on Elm Street, a film by Wes Craven. It's fantastic. And New Line, you're geniuses. You nabbed this film so you could get, I don't know if companies get royalties, but if they do, I'm a little foggy about my filming and production companies, that kind of thing, and that kind of relation with money and box office budgets and stuff like that. But if they do get money for each film they sell, New Line was genius. When they saw this, they saw how I was doing at the box office, they're like, hey, you're making sequels? We got you. Make sure they're good sequels. And even if they're bad sequels. You know, that's what's so amazing. In Hollywood, they make so many bad movies and get so many bad sequels that it's rare that happens. Like, in my opinion, Friday the 13th stands alone by itself. I mean, I feel like almost Friday the 13th Part 2 shouldn't be called Friday the 13th Part 2. It should have some other name. Because, yeah, they're connected, but think about it. you go from Pamela Voorhees to her son, a completely different killer. Just as brutal, probably more, and it's just amazing. But I don't call myself a horror fan, just like Joe Woosh doesn't call himself a horror fan, because just because you see a movie doesn't make you a horror fan. And yeah, but this was a horror review, I guess. If anyone sees these videos, and no one seems to be watching my channel's videos, which is fine. I mean, I do it probably just for me, get my opinion out and finally get it out of my head. But if you happen to see it, you know, share it with your friends, because I appreciate good constructive criticism. But yeah, if you have any films you want me to watch, I'll check them out. And if you want me to do a section like what Eshbal does on YouTube, Horrible Horror, I'll do that too. And yeah, I love you guys. That was really gay. That was really gay. No, it wasn't. Anywho, yeah. 9-8. Better stay up late. Yeah. Or 7-8. Better stay up late. 1-2. Bridget's coming for you. See ya.